Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the end of the videos? Another paid request, this time for Retro Crypt. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Escape from the Bronx from 1983, which I thought I'd heard of this film and I thought it sounded familiar, and I realized why is because it's a sequel to a film called 1990, The Bronx Warriors. And it starred a guy named Mark Gregory who stars in this film, and he plays the same character, Trash. Now, 1990, The Bronx Warriors is one of those Italian movies that was trying to be a rip-off of films like Escape from New York. I mean, even the title here is called Escape from the Bronx. And these films were made pretty quick and pretty cheap. Mark Gregory, I guess he was a guy that did a couple of these Italian rip-off movies. Thunder Warrior, kind of their take on Rambo, among other stuff. And then I guess he kind of disappeared. Some people said he just quit acting. And I don't know if it's true, but I think he passed away from, I don't know if it was an overdose or something like that. Like, he seemed like in the last remnants of his life, he was destitute. I don't know if it was overdose or what it was, or something else entirely, but I guess he got tired of acting. He didn't like the whole acting thing, and then just didn't do much. And then I guess by the end of his life, he was losing money and stuff. So it's too bad. Now, how do I talk about this film? It's pretty straightforward. It's Mark Gregory, as I said, coming back as the character Trash in the Bronx, but most of it's in Rome because it's an Italian film. And I think it was one of those things where at least half the film had to be filmed in Rome. Just what are the deals with how they do stuff over there? It's one of those films like within the first 15 minutes, Mark Gregory has a gun and shoots a helicopter, and you know what's going to happen. When he shoots a helicopter, lo and behold, it blows up. The bad guys are the GTC Corporation. I think that's what it's called. Pretty much, they want to get everyone out of the Bronx because they want to build a new city on the old city. As they put it, a future city for future man. So the GTC Corporation, they say they're moving people, but really what they're doing is they're getting people with flamethrowers to go in and burn the people who are living there. So at one point, Trash, Mark Gregory's character, his parents get killed, and he don't like that, so he decides to fight back. Beats up with some underground people. Another point, just going out, taking people out left by one, left and right and center. Meets it with a female reporter with a very like overzealous dub job from her. And then the two of them meet up with this other guy. I want to get the character's name or the actor. Strike, played by Giancarlo Prete or Giancarlo Prete, who is known as Timothy Brent as well. He was actually in another Italian film, The New Barbarians, or I remember it when it was called Warriors of the Wasteland, which I remember seeing bits and pieces as a kid. I know Fred Williamson was in it. He was a star of that film, so he co-stars here as Strike, a guy who has a lot of dynamite. He has his kid who's like a foul-mouthed kid saying, "Gotta go my ass," and saying words that rhyme with tag, but starts with an F that I can't say because YouTube don't like it. Well, also, it is a bad word to say, to be fair. It's not just because of YouTube, but it's a word that rhymes with tag and starts with an F. You know what I mean. And they come up with the idea to kidnap the president of the corporation and find a way to get these flamethrower folks out of the Bronx. And that's the story of it. That's the whole plot of it. The film itself is pure just 80s trash. I mean, it's It's fun for what it needed to be. There's a lot of just killing, shooting, blowing stuff up, and I mean that's not too bad of a time for 80, 90 minutes. Like when it gets going, it felt like every 5 minutes there was another shootout or the hero getting the flamethrower and using it on some of the bad guys, or Strike getting a shotgun and shooting people. And the type of shotgun, he just shoot a van once and the whole thing blows up. He shoots something else once and the whole thing blows up. Like even like the last 15 minutes, just constant, just shooting one after the other, shooting this guy, shooting that guy. It's hard to even talk about the story because there's not much of it. I mean, the dubbing is bad, but it's kind of fun bad. It's kind of entertainingly bad. Uh, Henry Silva, I recognize. He's the main villain. Henry Silva, who's the villain in Above the Law of Steven Seagal. Code of Silence with Chuck Norris. He was an alligator as the hunter who gets eaten by the alligator. But again, if you like action films, Steven Seagal's Above the Law, Chuck Norris' Code of Silence. He's the main villain in both of those. He's the case here. And he's having fun. I mean, being over the top. What's in that building? Rats? Roaches? Oh, whatever. Proceed. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you put your brain in it a minute or two that make you ponder, go, what? I mean, it's called Escape from the Bronx, right? But the whole plot is they want to stay in the Bronx. They don't want to escape the Bronx. The whole point is they want to fight the bad guys because they want to stay in the Bronx. So technically, it should be called Stay in the Bronx. So yeah, I find it funny. It's called Escape from the Bronx, but no one wants to escape. It's called that because it's Escape from New York. But no one wants to escape from the fucking. That's the whole point. They don't want to escape. They want to stay. So I mean, the title makes no sense in terms of the fucking plot. Again, it's the title because Escape from New York, New York, the Bronx, Escape, whatever. Mark Gregory, for the most part, is wearing a jacket because, from what I understand, he's a lot less in shape compared with the first movie. And Mark Gregory, I mean, he did what he did. Like he had a decent look, but like acting wise, I know it's kind of hard to judge because it's a dub affair. But like when he finds out his parents have been burned alive and he's trying to show emotion, it's just not there. I would say I probably like the other guy, Strike. He seemed a bit more badass to me, maybe because he had all these bomb traps and grenades, dynamite throwing, fun with the shotgun. He had a little bit more smile in his face and pip in his step. At one point, he's going down this line and shooting bad guys. It felt like he just had more variety of stuff to do. Shotgun, jumping down, shooting. I mean, throwing stuff to blow up people. It just, I was getting more into his character than the lead character. There's a lot of people flying around. Back to the day with action films, you have those little trampolines that people, or either trampolines or they have one of those flippers that you get on and the fly off. Whichever one they used a lot of it. There's a lot of people flying from explosions in slow motion. There's actually some decent blood as well. One guy, like Strike actually. I'm like, is it called Striker? But they said Strike. I'm like, you should have just called him Striker. Striker, Striker, Striker. He uses the butt of a gun to hit someone in the face, and the thing look because the guy's wearing a helmet, it hits and it looked like the face explodes. People throw and there's dummies getting flying up and blowing about. It has a pretty big body count, I'll say. This has a lot of action and body count. If you just want to watch it for that, it's not too boring of a movie. There's a point that the bad guys have these hostages with bombs. One of them blows up. And Like one, the you see kind of the stomach blow up and hit it, one of the flamethrower guys. But like I said, a lot of times, I mean, you look at the film, you just tell the low budget. A lot of times, it doesn't seem like the future; it just seems like I don't know, Detroit or something. But no disrespect to anyone in Detroit. But just rundown buildings. But there's not a whole lot of other future stuff, sci-fi stuff in it, and like a lot of futuristic toys or anything of the sort. You didn't really see a lot of other futuristic stuff. Futuristic stuff. And like weird choices, like when the lead guy finds his parents burned, the music starts playing this smooth jazz music. And like, why is it playing smooth jazz? Shouldn't there be something a little bit more appropriate? Or when our lead saves this reporter, these guys' job is to flamethrow everybody and kill everybody and burn everybody. So why do they find the bad guys find the girl and they go freeze? Why did they tell her freeze? For what? Like your job, you're literally killing anybody and everybody to burn them and kill them and shoot them. So why are you telling the girl to freeze? Oh, just to give enough time for the lead to go kill some people. Sorry, pop in my ears. Pretty much the last 30 minutes is they grab the president, someone dies, they get to the underground after shooting like 50 people, or the strike throwing bombs and having bomb traps. Even the kid, his kid has some bombs he throws and some traps he sets off. A lot of people flying in slow mo or dummy work. The president tries to escape, but the two leads recapture him. Try that again, you'll be a tea strainer. That's one of the lines of dialogue. Uh, the people underground are led by Antonio Sabato Sr., the father of Antonio Sabato Jr., who did a lot of action film, well, quite a few action films throughout the 90s to 2000s. Well, okay, that's his dad, Antonio Sabato Sr. He's definitely over the top in his dubbing and such, which was kind of funny. I would say overall I didn't mind it for what it was. Like it's silly and at time, but I will say it wasn't boring. It moved at a pretty fast pace. There's quite a bit of action and shooting and shotgun and flamethrower and blowing stuff up. Henry Silva, nice to see him in there. Again, Strike's shotgun can blow up vans and cars in one go. And spoiler alert, I thought this was really funny. Super spoilers. The bad guys and good guys are having all this chaos in the last like 15 minutes. Everybody's shooting everybody. Number one, I thought was kind of unfulfilling that the bad guys get killed, like Henry Silva, but there's no like fist to fist, mano a mano. It's pretty much he's in the van, good guy shoots, and then the van explodes. There's no up close of Henry Silva screaming or him going up and he's burning alive or he comes up, he's hurt, and one final boom. No, it's just that's how it is. So I thought that was a bit unsatisfying. But more so, the whole point of this is for the people to stay in the Bronx. The only people alive are three people: the lead, Strike, and his son. And Strike and his son are going to go underground, and now Trash is alone. So I'm sitting there going, did they win? Like, did they win? Like, the music and them kind of smiling at each other make it seem as if they won. But I'm like, everybody died. Like, everybody died. And so it just made me go, did they win? It doesn't feel like much of a win. I know you make it sound like a win. I guess you kind of make it look like a win. But it doesn't seem like a win. It seems like it should be much more of a somber ending. Like, we try to win and technically we won because there's three of us and none of them. But Let's see what that is. Well, actually, no. I just they fixed it. Whatever it was. Maybe that's my cue. Maybe that's the answer. No, they didn't win. Warning, warning, danger, Will Wob is in danger. No, they did not win. So I thought that was weird. But overall, I mean, I wish there was a bit more of a future look and setting to the film. I wish there was a bit more of a future style. There's very little plot. There's a lot of action, though. So if you want just going for trash, exploitation action, this definitely has a lot of it. Like Mark Gregory, I don't know. I wouldn't say he had charisma as a lead. I wouldn't say he had much presence. He had a decent look, face, hair, all that, but I don't know. I didn't feel as much of a presence compared to other people. That's just me. Like I said, the other guy, Strike, I actually liked him more. The kid was a bit annoying, but thankfully he didn't talk too much. Thankfully, but I don't think you needed a kid in there. The reporter was there. Again, pretty over the top dubbing role. Attila Sabato Sr. Was fun and over the top as Doblin with his big laughing, and I almost kind of wish he was the lead. You still have Strike as, and I kind of wish Attila Sabato. I wish he was. Kind of wish him and his character was the lead. Just Mark Grady just doesn't really show a lot of emotion. I guess that's the whole point. But he just doesn't show a lot of emotion. Kind of has the same face, same this and that, and I just wish for a little bit more out of him. Like I said, the ending is like, did they win? It it depends what you want out of these type of films. I mean, there's little bit of blood, not a ton of blood, but a little bit here and there. Like I said, a lot of shooting, shotgun fun, flamethrower fun. Like I said, I'd probably say I like this more than the first one. Does the first one seem like it? I remember the first one didn't have that much action. At least it didn't seem like it. This one seemed like it had a lot more action. So at the very least, it wasn't boring. But I wouldn't say this is something I love to death and I need in my collection. Like I liked, what was it, Raiders of Atlantis? That had a lot of action, but I liked the leads, characters more. Had a cool song. So I would definitely put like Raiders of Atlantis above this. Strike Commando. I mean, you got Red Brown yelling and screaming and shooting everybody. Gotta put Red Brown and Strike Commando above it. So, but yeah, I would say I liked it more than the first movie. Would I ever watch it again? I don't know. There's not a lot of impulse for me to watch it again, but for seeing it one time, like I say, you do a lot worse. At least it's not boring. Explosions, stunt work, stuff of that nature. This stuff that is funny unintentionally. Seeing dummies fly, or I didn't Rome trying to look like New York, or I didn't the ending like, did they win? So it is what it is. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later.